And we are live. Thank you all for coming. This is Summit number 7 for Startup TNT. May the 4th be with you. It is top 20 pitch night. It's going to be an exciting evening. I'm Neil. I'm the lead for Calgary. I've been investing with Startup TNT since I came to Calgary in 2020, and I'm super excited to have my friend Danielle with me here tonight to co-MC this with me. So Danielle, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, good evening, everyone. Beautiful weather we're having. My name is Danielle Gifford. I am the Executive Director of Movement 51, a sister to the 51, which is a female VC fund based here in Calgary. We just closed our latest fund of $30 million, which is a food and ag tech fund, so very exciting. Yes, excited to be here tonight. So just a couple general housekeeping rules. We have a couple different bathroom options. So one up here to the right-hand side, we have an accessible bathroom that's on the main floor. And in the case that any of these ventures take your breath away, we have a defibrillator in the cafe as well. Dad joke, I've got them lined up, so get ready. Oh.
All right.
Tech.
Just doing a quick check on my clicker here.
We love clickers.
Now that I've turned it on, that should help, but we'll see. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, okay, before we begin, I want to take a moment to appreciate why we're here, and we're here in this awesome place called Calgary, at Platform Calgary. So telling stories is an integral part of what we do at Startup TNT and in the community at large. We'll be hearing and sharing a lot of stories tonight, and both during the pitches and after. And tonight we honor those elders whose stories this land carries. And we acknowledge that this land is the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, the Nakota Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all the other Indigenous people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We acknowledge all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived on this land before us, and we aim to create a safe space for Indigenous communities. Tonight, we honor their mission to get together and share stories.
All right, so Startup TNT began in 2019, and it began in a simple way. It was a couple of friends, investors, founders, and local ecosystem supporters that got together with a simple mandate: to have fun, make friends, and build companies. Now, in 2019, there was this crazy idea for an investment summit. And here we are today, 207 weeks later, 19 investment summits, and 70 companies invested in, with over $10 million of local capital that's going into these companies. So a big round of applause for that.
Thank you. And we can't do it alone. Honestly, all that capital that we've raised is all from local investors going into local startups that are going to have a local impact, and it's an amazing thing. So many of you folks here in the audience are in this ecosystem in our community, and you are all, we're super grateful for what you've allowed us to do. And then we're also grateful for our partners. We have some amazing partners that have been organizing this summit, and a bunch that have been around for the last 3 years that we've been in business, I guess.
Yeah.
So I want to thank our BFFs. We got API in Edmonton. They do a ton of amazing work in the pharmaceutical research space and support the life sciences really broadly across Alberta. We have our friends at CBRE who do a bunch of great work in the commercial real estate space. John Fisher, unfortunately, couldn't make it here tonight. He was the very first co-host for the first Top 20 Summit here in Calgary in 2020, and he's invested in every summit since. He's been an amazing support. Our best friends, we have folks like Rahan from RBCX here today, M&P, BDC, we got some BDC folks here. Dennis, let's give it up for them. And Tecate. We also have our close friends, the Accelerate Fund, who've been really great for the ecosystem. Alberta Enterprise, our friends from Calgary Chamber here tonight. Here around for the Chamber.
The Calgary Chamber.
And we were very fortunate to get some funding from Alberta Innovates and Prairies Can last year, which allowed me to, well, our whole group to stop being volunteers and for me to do this as a full-time job. I'm eternally grateful for them for allowing me to do that and for the impact that we're having as well. And then thank you, yeah, absolutely. I love it, you guys are clapping tonight, that's great. Also, we have friends from like Peer Guidance and Platform Calgary. Let's look at the space we're in and give a round of applause for Platform Calgary too for hosting us.
Okay, so why invest in startups? founders. They're the dreamers, they are the doers. They risk it all to build businesses, to disrupt technologies, to disrupt industries. Startup TNT does something really unique where they're investing in local entrepreneurs. And it's to help them build here, to live here, to thrive here. And when we're investing in local companies, we all win. And something that's really important is, when you're thinking about investing and why we invest in companies, it doesn't always have to be capital, right? You can think about your human capital. You can mentor, you can advise, you can connect them potentially to their first customers or to their first pilots. You can also support them. You can support them along the way, because being a founder is not an easy job. So investing in companies is something that's really important to us.
Absolutely. Okay, now how does it work? So if you're new to Startup TNT, here's a basic rundown. So first of all, this is not a pitch competition. It's an 8-week-long due diligence and deal screening process where we get a bunch of local investors to collectively vote and collectively do due diligence on...
tongue twister.
That's right. Due diligence on great local companies. So they're real companies and real investors. Each investor pre-commits $5K, which gets pooled together towards the eventual winner of the summit, which you'll come back on June 15th and see. But I want to hang out on that for a bit. So these investors pre-commit money before seeing the companies that apply, before knowing if they fit their investment thesis, before knowing if they're going to like any of them or want to invest them. And they do that because we are consistently putting up amazing early stage companies here in Calgary across a wide variety of industries with a wide variety of backgrounds and diversity, and it's a really cool thing to see. So that's why we've had 22 summits. We got 22 summit winners, but we've invested in over 70 companies in the last couple of years because the investors get excited about more than one company in every single summit so far. Many of our investors are new to angel investing. Many of them are from traditional business backgrounds, and they come in because they can invest alongside seasoned angel investors. And we also spend a lot of time doing investor education and getting them familiar with the space to recognize that it's a great asset class to invest in. So come on back on June 15th. The final 5 companies the investors choose are going to be here pitching again. Then they're going to go off to that side room up there. They're going to vote live who's going to get the initial pooled portion of money, and we'll come out and announce it live, which is a fun dynamic, and we all get to hang out again.
All right, so what does tonight look like? So across 4 provinces, this is happening at the exact same time in parallel. So we have 80 companies. We have over 750 people that are either in person or attending virtually, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. And we have over 5 different after parties that are going to happen after. I would say that I like to go to the after parties, but I feel like I fall asleep at 9:30. It's a little bit sad, but we'll have 5 after parties that Neil will be at. He'll be closing it down. I'm pretty old, so I'm not going to be there long, just to give you all a heads up. Okay, and who's pitching tonight? Who here? Raise your hand if you like tech. Yeah. All right. Well, we have health tech, we have fintech, we have retail. You name it, we have it here tonight. We're really excited for the companies that are going to be pitching and gracing us with the stage.
Absolutely. And so the agenda is, we actually only have 19 pitches. Unfortunately, one founder had a family emergency, so they weren't able to make it tonight, for those that are counting. But the format is they get 5 minutes on stage. The target is 3 minutes to pitch, a 2-minute Q&A session. And for the audience, it's your job to cheer on these folks. It gets really scary. Speaking personally, it's scary standing up on stage in front of y'all. For these first-time founders, it's really intimidating being up here pitching. So show them a lot of love, give them a lot of cheers, bring some energy, let them know they're kicking ass and doing great things, and let's have a lot of fun. So enjoy the evening. Introduce yourself to the founders after. Introduce yourself to the person you're sitting next to, especially if you don't know them. Have fun and make friends. Lastly, also be respectful. This is an event to celebrate our community and to make meaningful connections, and we're here to have fun in a genuine manner. Lastly, we also, if you notice that there's a couple cards sitting on the places that you're sitting as well as the tables, we're trying something new to get a little bit of audience feedback for these founders. So if you scan the QR code, it links you to a Google form. You can provide feedback for these founders that will aggregate and give them some sentiment from the audience here, which can be really valuable. You can also put in constructive feedback and things you liked about it, just to give them a better sense as to the people that are watching and how they're doing and help lift them up. So also, if you want to submit your email address, which is optional, then in honor of May the 4th, our friends in Edmonton printed us off some Startup TNT little lightsabers, and we'll do a random draw at the end and give one of those away to one of the folks that submitted some feedback and put their email address in.
All right, and so as we get started tonight, what I would like to do, I don't know why I'm still holding this, please submit, we're going live. As we get started today, I wanted to take the time to introduce Rahan, and he's with RBCX, one of our friends. He's going to be our co-host for the first 5 companies. And then we also have Mac, who is a longtime champion at Startup TNT. So Rahan, over to you.
Thanks, everyone. Hello, very nice to meet you. Really excited for everything that we have on the go here. So just a quick summary on RBCX. I'm not going to hold you too long before the exciting pitches here tonight, but RBCX is RBC's technology innovation banking arm. We're really proud to power bold companies throughout Canada. So we're a team that's coast to coast, and we work with founders on capital and non-capital solutions through our banking, ventures, capital, and platform pillars. So we work with companies at all stages of their life cycle: software, hardware, life sciences, ag tech, clean tech, fintech, you name it, from ideation to IPO and beyond. So we're really happy to be working with a number of founders in the room here tonight, as well as our partners at Startup TNT and Platform Calgary. So without further ado, am I ready? Yep. Yeah. So we'll start with our first pitch for tonight. We have Nathan Nasseri with ResVR. Let's give it up for Nathan.
This is way too far ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe when you're making the most emotional and most expensive purchase of your lives, you have to do so using two-dimensional drawings and product samples like this? I'm talking about the $1 trillion a year industry with over 400,000 home builders in North America. The most exciting part about building a new house is picking everything that goes into it. The most difficult part about building a new house is picking everything that goes into it. It is impossible for a home buyer to understand what their house is going to look like using drawings like this and samples like these. I'm Nathan Nasseri, CEO and founder of ResVR. I sold homes for a home builder for 4 years. And I know from experience that it is impossible for home buyers to understand what they're getting until they see their house for the first time. I remember one family, and we built a 3,000 square foot house together with a beautiful spiral staircase. The first day we met, they told me they would really love to have hardwood in the entire house. But when I told them the price, they said it was too expensive. So they decided to get carpet on the stairs instead of hardwood. The first day they saw their house, they knew they made a huge mistake. But it was too late. The carpet was installed. They were heartbroken. And if only there was a way they could see what their house looked like before it got built. There are 3D walkthroughs and show homes, but they only show 1 or 2 options available to home buyers. But that's what our secret sauce is. We digitize an entire floor plan catalog for a home builder and showcase every upgrade and option available in real time so that the home buyer can make a more informed decision. We charge home builders $500 per month per floor plan. Our team is located in Canada, Germany, and India, which allows us to develop our software 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. This is how we can rapidly deploy our software to our 3 home builder customers right now who have 75 floor plans in their catalog. By the end of year 2 of business, we're looking to have 450 floor plans in our catalog with $2.4 million in annual recurring revenue. My family has a deep history here in Alberta. My uncle started Landmark Homes in 1977 and has built over 17,000 homes across Alberta. My first company I started in 2016, which was called Real Estate and Virtual Reality. We did virtual reality simulations of home floor plans and condo developments so that they could pre-sell their projects before they started construction. My company was acquired in 2019, and now I'm building a 2.0 version of that company. So that brings me to their technology today. We're using the same technology that's used in Star Wars and House of the Dragon for visual effects to showcase all the different options and floor plans that you can choose as a home buyer. Today, we are here asking for $150,000 in exchange for 5% equity. Thank you, and I would love to take some questions.
Pretty strong first pitch, I'd say. Okay, so my first question, first of all, that was phenomenal. Strong revenue. I like that you have a team that's so expansive, but how do you manage people in 3 different continents?
It's sometimes challenging, but fortunately for me, I've been working fully remote since 2016. So I was doing it before it was cool, thanks COVID. We used programs like Discord, Trello, Miro, and Notion in order to keep track and stay productive.
Have you figured out how to make a friend virtually?
Oddly enough, I've only met like half of my team in real life, so 50%, yes.
Okay, very cool. So you've done something similar before. I've seen similar types of products. Can you explain how you're solving this problem differently?
For sure. So we're actually showing every upgrade and option available for each floor plan, and we're charging builders a subscription instead of charging them upfront to do the development.
Okay, and I would imagine the subscription is better in somehow. Can you explain?
It's way better, yeah. So rather than waiting to go and get my next kill, I actually have a sustainable amount of revenue that I can depend upon.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next up, we have Liz McRae with Village Wellth. Let's give it up for Liz.
Do I need to turn this on? Oh, there we are. Oop. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'd like to introduce you to one of our members. Meet Robin. Robin suffered a heart attack last September. He realized he needed to change his lifestyle and his income source. Shortly after, he learned about buying a business. With the help of Village Wellth, he was able to close on his first fitness club in January. I'm co-founder of Village Wellth, Liz McRae, and we're on a mission to make acquisitions accessible. We're familiar with the ways that people traditionally create wealth: advancing in your career, investing in real estate, and the stock market. But there's a less well-known path to creating wealth called acquisition entrepreneurship. This strategy has been used successfully by private equity groups and corporations for decades. At Village Wellth, we believe everyone should have access to this strategy with a desire to create wealth. But the path to ownership isn't simple. It's typically very complex, taking 18 to 24 months if successful. 67% of people who set out to buy a business fail, which is why we're building an all-in-one acquisition management platform, enabling businesses, buyers from diverse backgrounds to execute on acquisitions like a pro. The time to build our product is now. Over the next 10 years, 3 out of 4 business owners will seek to exit their companies. It is the greatest transfer of wealth in history, estimated at $30 trillion of transferable assets across North America. Robin isn't our only story. We've advanced 78 buyers and sellers across various industries through their transactions. We have over 1,000 registered users on the platforms and have made over 500 connections between buyers and sellers, which is why we're raising $800,000 in seed capital to enhance the user experience and scale subscriptions. Our path to revenue is simple. Our monthly subscription, paired with a hybrid success fee model, allows us to reach targets of $1.5, $9, and $40 million of annual revenue with user milestones of 1,000, 5,000, and 20,000 paying subscribers. This is the team behind Village Wellth. Rob, Giselle, Josh, and myself are all tied to the work that we do through personal stories. which is why we believe that anyone with the motivation and desire to grow wealth through acquisition deserves access. If you know anyone buying or selling a business, please scan the QR code. We would love to help. Thank you.
Another good pitch. Are there any business brokers in the room? SMB business brokers. One? Sorry, this might offend you. It's not a great system that we have. If you've ever tried to buy a small to medium business, it's really, it sucks. So this is cool.
Thank you.
I feel like we only got a taste though. Can you tell us more about where the product is at, how you're developing it, sort of milestones that you're looking to hit?
Yeah. So we have 3 phases. We're in phase 2. So phase 1 is building the marketplace, which connects buyers and sellers. That's fully functional and in use now. Phase 2 is enhancing the rest of our digital tools. So the acquisition process is 6 phases, and we're building tools to assist buyers at every stage. And phase 3 is fractional ownership, where we pair our acquirers with co-investors to make these acquisitions possible.
Very cool. If you can cut out the lawyers too. Sorry. Last question. How do you guys make money? What's the revenue model?
Yeah, so being hybrid, we charge a monthly subscription to both buyers and sellers. And based on industry data, it's anticipated that 1 in 10 purchasers will actually transact. We're hoping to increase those odds, but we ran our projections based on those numbers. So 1 in 10 will transact, and our average transaction revenue is $12,000.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Liz. Next up, we have Mike Danzen and Dan Hunt from ClearSource. Let's give it up for Mike and Dan.
Sweet. So Dan bailed on me. He's sitting in the audience, so you guys are stuck just with me. But that's okay, because I am here to talk about my very favorite thing in the entire world, Star Wars. Sorry, industrial supplies. Don't worry, if you don't know anything about industrial supplies, that's okay. The only thing you need to know is that there is a massive opportunity to modernize this huge industry. We're here to tell you that the purchasing process is terrible. It really is, and it hasn't materially changed for the last 30 years or so. And the worst part is that, right now a lot of the older generation are retiring and being replaced by Gen Z and millennial people who are coming into the workplace, and they're not checking their Amazon-like expectations at the door. They want the same user experience when they're at work as they already enjoy in their personal lives. So what does this mean for our customers? Well, for an industrial contractor, like a tradesperson, basically this can mean lost revenue. It can take hours every day for them to source the supplies that they need to use to do their job. And if we can give them back just 1 hour in their day, that can mean up to $120,000 in revenue for them for a year. For industrial distributors, believe it or not, in 2023, most of them don't sell online, which is crazy to me. And mostly it's just because they're so underwater, they can't keep up with their own business, let alone figure out how to build and structure a website, how to stock it with materials, and basically sell and do stuff like that online. And then for the manufacturers of these products, they really struggle to understand who their end user customers are, because there is no, kind of consolidated data throughout the industry. Nobody trusts each other, and nobody wants to talk to each other to actually make this industry better. So the market for this, or the market is huge, and trust me, people are looking for a solution at this point. But the tools that are available to them, they are either designed for commercial transactions, consumer transactions, so think like retail e-commerce, or for enterprise level contractors, so think your PCLs, your ACONs, companies of that size. So Dan and I, who you're going to meet now up here, we built ClearSource using our 25 years of industry experience in conversations with literally hundreds of different stakeholders. So our digital sales platform is live. It's in the market already, and our early adopter customers love it. We've got over 50 brand partners already that are in our ecosystem, as well as 18 distributors who are ranging everywhere from Hamilton, Ontario, all the way to Richmond, BC already. And we're going to do 150% of all of last year's revenue this month. And in large part, just due to some of the programs that are available that help support our startup ecosystem that we've kind of talked about earlier tonight. We've already been identified as a potential acquisition target for a division of Constellation Software called Jonas. The great thing about a product like ours that solves a basic business process problem is that there's always an ERP or CRM company around somewhere that wants to buy you up as soon as you have a mass of customers. And so what do we need? We're looking for investment capital. Basically, we're trying to raise $1.5 million to help us complete our order desk tools, to launch two new significant sources of revenue, as well as to hire a sales asset to help us expand into the US that we're going to be doing later this fall. And we want to bring you guys all along to share in the upside on this decidedly unsexy business. Thank you.
Very, very good job.
Thanks.
Okay, so you said something that really clicked with me, and that was that consumers have not checked their sort of Amazon expectations at the door, which I can relate with. But one thing that I can't relate with is welding. I don't know much about it, so maybe anything about it, but why did you pick that as your beachhead? And then how do you transfer that into different verticals?
Sure. So we picked welding mostly because it was just where I had the most contacts at the beginning. And it's roughly on its own, it's about a $4 billion business here in North America, like Canada and the US. And so to use a little bit of industry jargon, the plan is to knock the burrs off of this thing here, make sure it's all working properly, our workflows are good. And if we mess it up, that's okay. We can fix it in a $4 billion business, but then when we expand into electrical, that's a $200 billion business. We really don't want to mess that up at all.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. One more quick question. You're going to build up massive amounts of data that is probably very valuable to the companies you're serving. What's your strategy around this?
Absolutely. I mean, that at the end of the day, we need to service our customers first so we can get access to that data. But once we do, then we can monetize that and essentially turn that into business intelligence and actionable insights for the broader industry, so that they'll actually be able to make improvements to the industry as a whole.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Mac.
Do it for real?
Yeah, exactly.
Next up in this segment, we have Layden Brown with Zed One and Only Technology.
Here you go.
I'm excited this evening to share with you why Z1 is uniquely positioned to capture market share in 3 exciting markets: healthcare, technology, and environment. I'd like to walk you through how we're going to achieve this by talking about the manual wheelchair market, which is ripe for disruption. In fact, in spite of the number of users most of the users are in the manual wheelchair, yet all the R&D goes to powered chairs. There's really no innovation in the manual chairs. Doctors prefer a manual chair over a powered chair for health reasons and for obesity. The Veteran Affairs in the United States indicate that people that go into a powered chair gain as much as 50 pounds within 1 year. I'm sure all of you here know of someone that's in a manual chair. Let me mention that 3 out of 4 people are going to suffer a pain or injury by using just everyday use. And rotor cuff injuries are up. 6 out of 10 people are going to have a serious rotor cuff injury. I have one myself. and that's going to require surgery, and all of a sudden they're in a power chair, they gain weight. Really, in the last 4 decades, there hasn't been really any innovation when it comes to manual wheelchairs. Z1 is going to change all that with our patented technology. Clicker here. No. Is there a trick to this? Okay. Can't see. Okay, well, I'm losing time here. We can't seem to get. Okay, we have a patented technology that's going to revolutionize how people use chairs. Instead of pushing like this with your hands, it will be a linear motion that will convert to rotary, therefore improving torque where you'll be able to go up a hill or ramps. Okay. So our technology, we just got our patent the other day. The size of the market worldwide is huge. There's over 131 million wheelchair users. It represents about an $8 billion market. It's going to be approximately $15 billion by the year 2030, and we expect to get at least 1% to 2% of that market. We have an amazing team that's going to accomplish this. Experts in capital sourcing, startups, and engineering. We're looking for our go-to-market is we're going to be going directly through what they call seating clinics and professionals. We have a wheelchair president who has over 25 years in the industry and has connections with the leading wheelchair companies like Permobile and Sunrise Medical. We're going to form joint ventures with these folks. We're here today looking for between $500,000 to $1 million to get our prototype off and running. We're looking at working with Red Deer and the University of Alberta. We have on our team a capital source individual who has raised over $80 million in the last 9 months, who is going to be giving us a term sheet we expect in the next day or so. So we're inviting all you folks here today that are investors to come along and join the ride and jump in with some really big players here. Thank you for your time. I look forward to continuing our dialogue. With that sticker.
Yeah, I hate these things. Great pitch. Thank you for powering through there. I think one thing that I saw is your technology reduces risk. What else does it do? What are the other benefits?
Well, the neat thing about our technology, and because of the way it moves, we can go up ramps much easier, and it's going to give the manual wheelchair user much more mobility. It's kind of like a hybrid. But it's all human powered. You don't need to get into an expensive power chair. You don't need a special vehicle. You don't need special ramps. It can go in the snow. It can go on rough terrain. It can go on carpets. It can get around your house a lot easier than a power chair. It just gives the individual a lot more freedom.
Yeah, no, very cool. I can support that. Is this technology applicable anywhere else, or is it just wheelchairs?
This is brand new. We just got the patent, and we've been working with the top patent attorney out of New York, Greenberg Torek. They spent about almost a year with our engineering team. They have their own engineers to patent this technology, and there isn't anything like it. It's a game changer, and as a result, we're bringing on some amazing people in the wheelchair industry that see the future here.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing that term sheet before the end of the night.
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I can do that. Okay, we're double fisting. All right, everyone. For those of you that were here at the very beginning, you would have remembered that we can invest in companies multiple ways, and it's not just monetary. You can also invest through your human capital. So that is through mentorship, through advisory, or connecting to potential clients. And so on your seats, you'll have this little QR code that you can scan, and you can give feedback directly to our founders. Next, I would like to introduce our second co-host, Tara, who's from BDC. Welcome, Tara. And I would also like to introduce Stephanie, who's a TNT investor, a 51 investor, a clean tech guru, and an international scuba diver. So she's going to be our Q&A. So Tara, over to you.
Good, thank you. I am so excited to be here. I recognize so many faces, and it's so great to be a part of this. So BDC, if no one knows, is a Crown corporation. We have been around since 1944. We do financing, advising, and capital. Non-dilutive financing. So our main purpose, our only mandate is to make Canadian businesses be the most successful and competitive that they can be. So that's why we're here, that's what we do. But enough about me, we can just get on to the pitches. And I'm gonna introduce Mark from Ethox Energy. Yeah?
Sorry.
Yeah, perfect. All right, give it up for Mark.
Thanks for not trying my last name. My name is Mark Skarodko. I'm here with Ethox Energy. We are a synthetic hydrocarbon company working to help energy producers prepare for a carbon neutral economy. So carbon neutrality means that energy resources that we rely on every day are going to need to find a way to decarbonize. That includes gasoline, diesel fuel, jet fuel, and of course propane. Propane is used in a variety of agricultural, residential, industrial applications across Canada. Despite that fact, there's no meaningful production of renewable or low carbon intensity propane in Canada, despite the fact that it can sell for a 25 to 50% premium over conventional propane, and it's available to generate credits under the coming Canada Clean Fuel Standards. We know from our conversations with propane distributors like Superior Plus that decarbonizing propane is an area of keen interest. We intend to do this using dimethyl ether, or DME. DME is a synthetic low carbon intensity hydrocarbon that can be blended into propane directly at 20% by mass without any modifications to existing infrastructure or combustion technologies. So what that would mean for propane producers, whereas a conventional propane producer will have a product at 72 grams of CO2 per megajoule of carbon intensity, when their propane is blended with our DME, the carbon intensity of that blended product drops to 62 grams of CO2 per megajoule of energy. What makes our product unique is that we are working with Inutuck, Alberta to secure a license for a breakthrough catalyst in dry methane reforming technology, which when combined with direct DME synthesis, produces DME from methane and captured or recycled carbon dioxide. The resulting product has a carbon intensity that's approximately 60% lower than conventional DME, which is produced from synthesized methanol. The size of the propane market in Canada represents a huge potential for our product. At 20% blend, we've calculated the market size at approximately $400 million. We've also been in discussions with oil producers who have been doing research that shows DME shows remarkable promise as a solvent to decarbonize SAGD bitumen extraction for oil sands. We are seeking startup capital as we work to optimize our end-to-end process and work towards full commercial production of low carbon DME right here in Alberta. And now I'll take your questions.
Thank you. What a great presentation. So the first thing I want to ask you about is kind of your revenue model. So you guys are developing this proprietary way of creating the DME. What is your go-to-market strategy and how do you plan to generate revenue from your product?
We intend to sell directly to the distributors of propane who wholesale and sell propane across the country. So people like Superior Plus, Parkland Fuels, they already have a revenue stream from conventional propane. We would be selling our product directly to them.
Great. Okay, so the next question I want to ask about is really about carbon intensity. So you mentioned that it's a lower carbon intensity. What does that mean for the average person who doesn't spend their days in clean tech?
So what we're talking about when we talk about carbon intensity here is what we would call Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions. So the emissions generated from getting that product for conventional propane out of the ground as natural gas, processed, and to the point source before it's combusted. So not the actual carbon generated when you burn the product, but all the carbon generated in the upstream activities that get it from the ground to your barbecue.
Okay, and other than concern for the environment, is there a monetary benefit to this? Like, are there fungible credits available, or what do you expect for the bottom line?
Propane's not in the scope of the first round of the Clean Fuel Standard from a regulation perspective. So Clean Fuel Standards coming applies to gasoline and diesel fuel or liquid fuels. But if you produce those liquid fuels, you can use renewable propane or renewable natural gas to generate credits to offset the carbon impact of your liquid fuels.
Excellent. Okay, one last question, a fun question. I understand that your company was born out of Avatar. Can you tell us a little bit about your team and how that came about?
Sure. So for those who aren't familiar with the Avatar program, it's an accelerator here in Calgary with a focus on clean technology in the energy sector. Our team came from companies in Calgary who sponsored the Avatar program, gave our time to the program to develop this idea and build out the company. So most of us are engineers. We have one lawyer, but that's okay. And we're all from Calgary.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right, so next up, we actually have a virtual pitch coming in. So it's Amit from EnviroApps.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry. Yeah, so we can watch our food delivery, but we can't always provide reliable information to our emergency responders when an emergency occurs involving dangerous goods and transportation. How wrong is that? My name is Amit Bhargav, and I'm a co-founder of EnviroApps, and we are solving that problem one truck at a time. In fact, we can get that information to the emergency responders 10 times quicker than what it currently takes through paper. So paper-based processes have lots of problems with it. There is the information may be illegible, erroneous, or inefficient, everything leading to archaic results. Emergency responders, like I said, cannot always access this from the truck during an emergency situation. And what's coming up is the mandatory ESG disclosure requirements that will make it very difficult to gather the data from a ESG assurance perspective. And we all know the industry is quite busy right now, and we need to do more with less. We need efficiency. So why are we still doing this in paper? Our solution is easy to track. As the name suggests, it's a easy to use platform that can hold all this data and make it available when the need arises. All these features make it regulatory compliant. There's lots of data analytics. It can be implemented in days. It's a very cost-effective solution, and it makes lives easier. So our solution has been in commercial for more than 4 years. We've had 3 clients and 250,000 plus shipping documents already. It enhances safety and compliance assurance. There's 90% reduction in time and effort. And another important thing is you can get faster invoicing through digital proof of delivery. Currently, the industry is spending something around $20 to $50 per document lifecycle. That's a lot when you add the amount of shipments that actually happen. There's more than 400 million plus dangerous goods shipping happening in North America. It's a global problem. And as you know, the remote work is accelerating the switch to digital. We have a first mover advantage. We have proven this through the regulatory sandbox project, and 2 out of 3 clients that were approved by Transport Canada are our clients. And Our financing need is about $1 million for the next 18 months for sales and further product development and marketing. We have been recently nominated for the Collaborative Trendsetter and Environmental Excellence Award at the Global Energy Show. The team is here. I'm a subject matter expert in the ESG environmental regulatory compliance space, and our other co-founder has 26 years of software development experience. So as you know, paperwork is with transportation of dangerous goods is a global problem. The world is going digital. We have a first mover advantage, and we can help the industry save costs and improve public safety. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. That was a great presentation. As someone that's kind of worked in this space for a long time, I understand the importance of data. Can you tell me a little bit about how your program works? Do you have an app that works on your phone, or is it a software package? Can you talk a little bit about the product itself?
Absolutely. So it is accessible anywhere. We have a fully functioning mobile app on Android as well as iOS, and it works on the web, it works on tablets, desktop, you name it.
Excellent. And of course, with collecting the data, do you also download that data and provide it to your clients? Or for someone that wanted to collect information to do an ESG report, how do you transfer that information?
Absolutely. So what we have designed is we can do integrations with your Power BI or any other data analytic platform that you would like. And the other option, basic default option, is to export that into a CSV right away.
Great. Thank you so much. We look forward to continuing the discussion over the next weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next up we have Mark from HEJMAS.
It's like one of those days where I should have skipped leg day. There's way too many stairs. It's freaky. My name is Mark Heduk. I'm the CEO of HEJMAS Agrifibre Technologies. It's like in an echo chamber. Just a quick poll. I wanted to do this right at the beginning. How many people in the audience, by show of hands, believe that wood pulping is environmentally sustainable and it's also economically viable? Who believes this? Put your hand up. One person. Two. Excellent. When we look at the metrics, it's not always. How do we go ahead? Skip ahead? Oh, there you go. See, technology. I drove from Seattle yesterday, so I'm a little discombobulated. Basically, the stats on pulping are not fantastic. They use a lot of water, they emit a lot of CO2, and we have a solution that we created, we patented, and it's ready to go. We essentially take farming field waste. We take the stuff the farmers don't use, and we transform it into a high grade or any grade pulp. So what does that mean? That means that you don't have to be in North America to make a really awesome pulp, as is the case. As long as you can grow hemp, flax, canaf, or any bast fiber plant, our patent is globally relevant, and you can make pulp anywhere and of any quality. So it's not just limited to paper or PPE, but it's also to stuff like tissue, menstrual products, which we're developing. And yeah, it's kind of where we're going with it. We like pulp the best. Now, what does that entirely mean? We do 88% lower CO2 emissions. So compared to what biomass, we emit less CO2. 80% less water. That's 80% less water. And what does that mean? The pulping industry today uses 32% of we're debating how you pronounce the next word, potable or potable. We like potable because we work with hemp, but potable water supply in the world. And if they switch to our process, it would drop from 32% and unrecoverable to 7.25%, and it would be recoverable. We also use 70% less power time. And the most important part, we use no major sulfide, chloride, or dioxide chemistry. Our waste streams are so safe, we're actually investigating using them as fertilizer to sell back to the farmers so they can grow more of the plants that we need to make pulp. Right now, we're asking for $500,000 for our pre-seed round, and we also offer investors right of refusal to invest in our developmental projects, such as our bioplastic, our genetically altered hemp, and our biowire that are being developed this summer. It's our core team. That's me. Dr. Anna Fizzler, who's right there. She's helping us with product development, notably around tampons, menstrual pads, and investigating our pulp as a fiber substitute for patients in hospitals. Andre Masea, who skipped out tonight because he had to go to a wedding on the coast, and Stacy, who is our public relations, marketing, and brand specialist, and she's also on the coast. All right, who's got questions?
Okay, first I'm going to say that things that I love about your presentation. I love the circular economy aspect. I love the idea of using what would be a byproduct or waste to create a new product. I also love that it's the chlorides and the sulfurs that are being taken out of the process for the chemical process. That's great from an environmental standpoint. Can you tell me a little bit about where you are in your development? Like, obviously you'll have to build a plant with this. So where are you in developing? You're pre-seed now, so.
All right, so where we are currently talking to large companies about buying or using our samples to make sure they can integrate into their process. We are in conversations and companies are awaiting the next round so we can make the samples. So Molnica in Sweden, which is one of the largest biomedical companies in Western Europe. Stenum Metal, which is a recycling company. We're in talks with Amazon. They're a small mom and pop operation. They work out of their basement, out of Seattle, where I just was. And we're talking to, hopefully next week, Daiichi Sankyo, so Japan's largest medical supply company as well, who are interested in our highest quality fluff pulp.
That's great. It sounds like you've got a great market and great approach to this. Wish you the best of luck and look forward to talking to you over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you very kindly.
Okay, so next up we have another virtual pitch coming in, and this is from Hermaine from ViVent Solutions.
Well, hello everyone. Just a confirmation if you can see my screen, that would be fantastic. Okay. Perfect. Can anybody hear me? All right, perfect. All right. Well, technical issues there. We'll go ahead. Okay. Methane emissions are under scrutiny because of their ability to trap more heat and hence to accelerate climate change. In fact, the AER reported that oil storage tanks vented 3.1 million tons of CO2 equivalent of methane in 2020 in Alberta alone. Now, if that would have been prevented, the operators would have generated $22 to $131 million worth of carbon credit. So operators today are either paying fines or to dip into that carbon credit market, they are pivoting towards technologies such as flaring and vapor recovery units. And research indicates that the global vapor recovery unit market are expected to surpass like $1.6 billion a year by the end of 2028. And North America is expected to be the most lucrative market. This is the market that we aim to disrupt. Hello, startup TNT community. My name is Herman Kazmi. I am the CEO and co-founder for ViVent. And we are offering a solution that is more reliable, more affordable, and has a better ROI. The reason I say that is because VRUs are a complex system. They have mechanical breakdowns, which are very common. They are challenging to repair, and they impact a producer's operations, resulting in more economic losses. Well, now the operators have the option of choosing ViVent. We are engineering bioreactors that contain a specific bacteria which follow the rump or the serine cycle to break down the vented methane into carbon dioxide. But wait, our reactor will not only generate carbon credits for breaking down methane, but will also extract methanol from the cycle through certain inhibitors. And methanol can be used by operators for in-house needs or marketed. With the AER reported emissions we talked about earlier, This alone is estimated to be a $97 million annual market. So big numbers to deal with. Now, based on the feedback that we have received from some of our potential customers, the bioreactors will be delivered in trailer and trolley mounted units where mobility and the ease of installation will be kept at the forefront. So our product is better in various facets, but focusing solely on our investments. Our analysis indicates a $600,000 cost for a typical 10-tank customer over a 5-year period, which is lower than the current solutions. And if we carry this forward, installing ViVent's bioreactor over 185 storage tanks in a 5-year period, we estimate a profit of $2 million. Now, if we can capture a mere 5% of the Alberta storage tank market, this is a $50 million revenue stream. So, building this amazing business is a team of 4 co-founders with a combined experience of over 50 years in the oil and gas industry. And for the expertise in the biochem area, we are partnering with Gates Lab at the University of Calgary. And we are also associated with Avatar and Bradley Von Bolt, who is an expert in development and deployment of new technologies. There are multiple other key partnerships in place, but our ask today is an investment of $500,000, which will help us progress through 2 well-defined and risk studied stages. Concurrently, ViVent is also pursuing other avenues of investment that we can talk about with our potential investors. So now is the time to invest in ViVent and help us disrupt this billion-dollar market on the horizon and to decelerate climate change. So ViVent, go ViVent. Thank you for your time.
Great job. Methane mitigation is near and dear to my heart. And it's certainly a problem that we in the Prairies face within the oil and gas industry. You're also another company that's come out of Avatar. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Avatar and what it's like to form a team with some complete strangers and come up with a technology like this?
Now, of course, the Avatar, we started off our journey with Avatar almost a year ago. We are all professionals belonging to different companies in the oil and gas space, and our companies provide us this opportunity to attend this and be a part of it. When we all got together, the intention was nothing major. But as we started to share ideas from our backgrounds, our own perspectives in the industry, we sort of landed into an opportunity that appealed to all of us. And so we took that forward, took part in a couple of rounds through Avatar, and ended up eventually being one of the venture companies at Avatar. So it is it helps a lot when you are from the same sort of industry, where you have common goals and common ideas. And thankfully, this one turned out to be the one that we saw the most potential in. So it's been pretty good so far. And I would like to, just to say a little bit more things. I do apologize that I am not there in person, but there were some time clashes. But I do want to call out that one of our co-founders, Troy Temple, is in the audience. So Troy, if you can wave your hand. Yeah. So he will be happy to engage with all the folks here. So.
Great. Well, we look forward to getting to know you over the next couple of weeks and look forward to seeing what your technology can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Okay, so last of this little round here is Mohsen from Sensyn.
Thank you. Did you know that over 100 spill incidents occur every year on regulated pipeline here in Canada? And what's more alarming is that the rate of rupture has tripled in the last decade, mostly due to the age of the pipeline. I'm Mohsen, the CEO of Sensyn, or a startup offers a solution that can mitigate this condition. Globally, more than 2,000 major oil and gas pipelines are operational. Here in North America, we have more than 800,000 kilometers of pipeline, but half of them are at least 15 years old and more prone to rupture and leaks. The maximum value of the market here in the region is about $60 billion. In fact, by 2027, the market value will reach $3.6 billion. Unfortunately, the current technology cannot detect leaks that are less than 1.5% of the daily volume that is transported by pipeline. That could be several million liters per day. And the system needs to be retrofitable in a way that can be easily and inexpensively installed for the existing pipeline that are mostly buried underground. Considering the policy toward net zero emission and the future price of oil and gas, it becomes more concerning that make the company to keep the existing pipeline operational while looking for a reliable and low cost and cost-effective solution. Also, the system needs to work in very harsh environmental conditions as well as in underwater facilities. OraQ, our product, is a rapid, retrofitable, low-cost, and versatile leak detection system that supports companies for the best management practices of their facilities from upstream to downstream. Our sensor collects information from the assets and pass it to the application server through Internet of Things network. OraQ can also cover every corner of the globe using LEO satellite constellation. We offer a range of products to suit different applications, from sensor node, sensing element, and a standalone detector. The core of our technology that is patent protected can be made into adhesive tape and cables. At just $100 per sensor node, you can have our sensor that is 10 times low price than our nearest competitors. I am happy to say that we have competitors out there in the marketplace. But still, there is a huge demand for a solution that is cost-effective while being easily fitted to the existing pipeline and asset and be reliable and sensitive. OraQ is a solution for the resilient risk management that don't break the bank. We are a seasoned engineering team with several years of experience in product development and research. We are happy that we have Dr. Stephen Bryan and Nanette on our team for academic and business side. We have had a 3-phase plan to introduce our product into the market. At the moment, we have developed our MVP and we are ready to conduct field trials. The initial revenue will come from the small businesses like machine shops, gas stations, and farms. But later it could be from huge oil and gas pipeline carriers. We are looking to raise $300 to conduct the field trials and be ready for planning production. If you have any question, I'm happy to hear. I'm here to answer it, and don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, if I'm understanding correctly, you have your 3 sensor products that work together within a complete system to let you notify an operator that there's a leak or that there's something wrong in the facility. How do your sensors work? Are they gas sensors or liquid sensors?
The current technology that we have developed just now is responsive to the liquid form of hydrocarbon, but any type of hydrocarbon, it just needs to be exposed to the hydrocarbon. So you have the signals on your control room.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit about what your customer base is like? Will you be selling to other companies that provide sensor technology, or will you be selling directly to the oil and gas companies?
So we have that opportunity. We thought that we have 3 different major marketplaces for us. That would be the first one, the best one, actually, the pipeline carriers. But we are open to work with the OEM and service company as well to sell the core of our technology, and then they have the chance to use it in their final products. And also we are thinking to generate the revenue from small businesses where we are going to make our mass production of our product.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. How was the first half of the program? Let's hear it for these amazing founders that are doing cool stuff. Okay, so we are at the midway point, and I bet you some folks need to stretch their legs to get a drink, to use a bio break. So we're going to take a 15-minute break if we can manage that. I bet you it'll be close to that. And then we'll be back here for another 10 pitches. So go mingle, drink, eat, be merry. Oh, and also don't forget we can provide feedback on those cards. The founders would really appreciate it if you could. Hey, Gray. Could you guys turn the music off for a bit? Could you cut the music for a bit? I'm just going to announce everybody to come on. Perfect. All right, everybody. Let's all take our seats. I know that happened fast, but we got 10 more amazing pitches to see. Come on and grab a chair. 10 more pitches. Yeah, totally.
Everyone, hello. Hello. Quiet.
Don't say mistake whenever you make it. That'll totally mess up our timeline. Don't do that.
Yeah. Now this is off. Thank you. Okay, everyone, let's go. Close the bar. Pitches are resuming. There is a bar upstairs. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to the auditorium. The bar is now closed. It's open upstairs. The bartender, there's no line at the bar upstairs. There is no line at the bar upstairs. I'm going to start naming names soon. I see Sean. I see Luke. Let's go. Trevor. Idan Shoham. Let's go. I know. Okay. That's right, Guru. What? How great were those pitches? I'm up for Q&A though. Yeah, you know, I can do everything.
Yeah. Or just enlist them. All right. Okay, how's everybody doing? You ready to hear some more awesome pitches from amazing Calgary founders? All right, we got a few stragglers coming upstairs, but they are making their way up here. So before we get started, again, we have 10 more pitches to go, 2 more blocks. Just a reminder that there are those feedback cards with the QR code on them. If you want to provide some feedback to these awesome, brave founders that are pitching tonight, just go up there and you can hit submit and we'll get your information and you'll be in the run for a draw.
What? Guys, it's starting. Everyone's got to be quiet.
All right.
Yo!
Good job, Adrian. Okay, everybody. Let's simmer down just a titch. It's very exciting. There's so many amazing people here to meet tonight. Lots of friends to make. But I love the whistles. Thank you. I wish I could do that. All right. Okay, so just a reminder, we have the feedback forms. Hit the QR code and make sure you hit submit so they can actually collect your information at the end. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but if you want to buy some friends a drink here, hopefully everybody's enjoying some libations and some food, you can donate to the bar tab at cheers@startuptnt.com. We have a few folks here that have already done so. So I want to do a shout out to Stephanie Bailey, wherever she is. She donated, and she's not listening. She's downstairs right now. I want to thank Robert Simons from Paper Crane, Adrian Mitchell, the guy yelling at the top of the stairs, which is what he does best, and then my amazing co-MC Danielle, who is currently having a drink to celebrate. And with that, let's let the pitches begin again. So introducing our founders for this next block is Shireen from the Calgary Chamber, and Adrian, the loud guy at the top of the stairs, who's amazing and who's our partnerships lead at Startup TNT, as well as a guy that has too many master's degrees, is going to be doing the Q&A. So with that, I'll give it to Shireen.
Thank you, Neil. Hi, everyone. My name is Shireen. I am the Manager of Business Development here at the Calgary Chamber of Commerce. We are so pumped and thrilled to have partnered up with Startup TNT. Yeah, we love what you guys are doing. We think it's amazing, and I think that the future can only go get brighter and brighter from here. So with that being said, I am very much excited to introduce BiomedArmour. So can we please really cheer on Dr. Arandan, please? Thank you.
Good evening. Let me start with a controversial question. How many of you actually use this? So the molecules that you see, these are actually cannabis, and these are derivatives of the molecules. We at BiomedArmour are working to develop a portable detector to detect some of these molecules. And why? The reason is, apart from recreation, all these molecules have some psychoactive properties, and that often leads to fatalities. To put things in perspective, the death toll from driving fatalities driving under the influence, has increased almost 3 times in the last 20 years. And it is expected to increase. And that actually says why the market is so huge. In US alone, the total market is around 1.2 billion and is expected to grow even further. Now the question is, why do we need to detect these molecules at low concentrations? Most of the detectors, so the companies that are our main, who are already in the market. So we are not really in the market in the beginning, we are in the R&D stage, but these companies are actually detecting these molecules from our breath. So we as humans, we are the worst of the senses. So if you are actually smelling weed or smelling cannabis, it's already in order of parts per million. And it's already beyond the concentration level that is allowed by the law enforcement agencies. We have to go down to levels that are very, very low, in the order of almost parts per billion. That's what we are developing a new detector where we are going to detect both in terms of breath and from saliva. And we are developing actually a very platform technology that can be applied not only to this, but for other volatile organics as well. We have already designed a prototype for the VOC detection for cancer, but we are reaching out now to gain funds to build a prototype for the cannabis detector. We are a big team of cancer biologists, mechanical engineer, physicists, chemists. So we are covering all the bases so that we develop the right detector that can help reduce the number of fatalities and reduce the illegal usage. Thank you. I'll open the floor to questions.
Okay, thank you very much. That was awesome. Sure, I don't know what to do with this. Okay, so tell me about the round you guys are in right now. How much are you raising? What are you guys going to do with it?
So our plan now for this round is we want to raise around 300K to about 500K, $500,000, not 300K, 500K. And we want to build the prototype so that we can start demonstrating it, and we want to optimize it as well and get data, relevant data that is usable. I need to add here, So some of these molecules, so we call it the ugly molecules, we as sensor designers. The reason is the molecular structures that you actually see, these molecules don't remain, they are not static structures. Energetically, thermodynamically, they are different at different conditions. So even if you have used it, say about 2 days back, that molecule can still be in your system and your biology can change it and make it psychoactive. So even without knowing it, you can get into a kind of situation that is fatal for you or bad for you. So our overall research goal is to develop a detector. So once we design the prototype, we also want to test it in a clinical trial basis from patient to patient or from person to person and figure out whether for different people, how these molecules change, and so that we can also know new data or new understanding of what are the safe limits of usage of these cannabinoids.
Okay, I don't think we have time for another question, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love your enthusiasm, Dr. Nikhil, but let me do you the honors of introducing you. And clinical trial hero, Dr. Nikhil, who arguably has the winning suit for the evening.
Thank you so much, Sri. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to the crowd. You're beautiful people. It's warm out here, and I appreciate you. My name's Dr. Nikhil Joshi. I'm the CEO of Clinical Trial Hero. And this is going to work. 13 years ago, in the middle of my medical residency, I was diagnosed with cancer. My life was saved because of an important clinical trial. That opportunity is not equally available to diverse patients. We all suffered a great deal during the pandemic, but diverse patients died. In addition, they're severely underrepresented in clinical trials, and that has a huge impact on the efficacy and the generalizability of medicine. Pharma has two multi-billion-dollar problems. The first is delay due to poor enrollment. Each day of delay, 8 million. Pharma has a larger problem they are not even sure of. The FDA is a leader and leading on diversity, and they're going to require that for a drug to be approved, there has to be a sufficient population of diverse patients in a clinical trial. This is where Clinical Trial Hero comes in. We're a multi-platform app that does pre-screening and enables patient-to-patient networks, but we're also creating, with some of the greatest minds in the United States and Canada, a marketplace that will help pharma to fulfill their FDA-required diversity plans. The best part about our company isn't our product, it's our team. We are a small and dedicated team that is lucky to be led by a titan. Dr. Martin Gershon is the managing partner of the Endeavor Life Sciences Fund. They have over $3 billion under management. Dr. Gershon has started and exited 6 of his own startups and helped 55 other exits happen. Today I am announcing that I will be stepping down as CEO and asking Dr. Gershon to take the reins as I move to clinical trials operations. What would make you leave the company that you founded and move to a less prestigious role? You would only do that if you really cared about the problem and if you knew that the right person to lead the company was the one with 61 exits. In terms of traction, we're very lucky to be part of 2 amazing accelerators. And currently, we just got ethics approval today for our clinical trial for Novartis. We'll be starting that within the coming weeks. Finally, we have some very interesting collaborations, which I can't release publicly right now. Suffice to say, we're going to solve this problem, and we would love your help to do so. Thank you.
Awesome. It's cool. So, I've met you before.
Have you?
Yeah. I want to know how many people could Clinical Trial Hero enroll in clinical trials to help them per year?
We are currently talking to a partner who has 800 trial sites in the fields of oncology. We could scale that way if I don't die of a heart attack.
Sorry, and how many people would that be?
500,000
per year?
If we're lucky.
Amazing. So tell me, and I know this, Nikhil, any awards, any grants?
Yep, thank you. We were lucky to win the Alberta Central Innovators Award, as well as have the support of Alberta Innovates. Thank you guys so much.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Give it up.
Okay, that was awesome. Next up is Conlis Global. So I invite Ramon to come on stage and explain. Thank you.
Well, guys, whether it's sports, car accident, a fall in a bathroom, or a construction site, or a health condition, common to all is bone injury, which can happen anytime in your life. I'm Dr. Raman Kaul. I am co-founder and CTO for Conlis Global. I would like to thank my team at this point for putting this together, as well as our key opinion leaders for providing our input. Bone injury, bone trauma, or bone fractures can lead up to the bone gaps or voids, which left unattended can complicate the health outcomes. The current treatment strategy is to use allografts, autografts, or synthetic bone wide fillers. Synthetic bone wide fillers have gained traction over the last decade or so, however, do have limitations, which is tissue necrosis or unintegration, bone integration, and have unbalanced bone regeneration. Our solution, nanocement, addresses all these limitations. Nanocement can integrate into operation theaters, has a very small footprint, doesn't require specialized storage or infrastructure. It is quick to implement, thus saving operation theater time, as you can see in the IFU right here. And it has been shown to have a balanced bone growth, as well as it can be impregnated with antibiotics or grown bone factors, which can improve your health outcomes. Also, it is drillable, so it can be an aid to different bone procedures. So if you're putting screws or something, it can be an aid to that too. Our preclinical animal trials have shown to reduce healing time from months to weeks. And nanocement compensates for the factors influencing healing time. As any technology, we do have competitors, and this is the list of the limitations for our competitors, which nanocement addresses. We predict looking at the previous data from FDA, we predict that our product is going to be in the breakthrough innovation product. That's how the FDA had treated our predecessors before. So far, what we have achieved, we have done product development validation, we have done our bench testing, preclinical trials, we have patent already granted, we have regulatory, chalked down the regulatory pathway, which includes identifying predicates as well as making IFU. What is pending, what is in pipeline is the GMP validation, clinical trials, and regulatory submissions, along with manufacturing and sales and marketing. So what are we asking? We are asking for $1.3 million for these outstanding activities and the timelines we are presenting. So at current $3.2 billion, this is bone wide fillers current market $3.2 billion, which was assessed in 2021, which is expected to grow at a rate of 8.5% to $7.3 billion by year 2031. With our conservative US market analysis at the rate of 0.1% market penetration, just 0.1% market penetration to only 7% market penetration over the next 10 years, we expect to be at $2.12 billion in gross revenues by year 2034. So nanocement is addressing 15 plus bone diseases, conditions, or procedures. We are very excited about this technology, and I hope you guys are too. At this moment, I will thank TNT and Platform Calgary for hosting and inviting us, and audiences for coming out, supporting us, and cheering for us. Thank you so much.
Sadly, I don't think we have time for any questions, so we have to move forward. We're at 4.5 minutes.
All right. Okay, let's welcome Goodphyte, Amy on stage. And let's make it super loud, like clapping loudly. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amy Pusey, and I'm the CEO and founder of Goodphyte. My background is in nursing and nutrition, which means I don't love public speaking, so if you could keep that AED handy, that would be great for when I pass out. In 2008, I started to research the role of the anti-nutrient phytate in immune health. Phytate exists, phytate exists in many common foods derived from grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. So think pizza, pasta, macaroni, peanut butter, foods that many of us eat quite commonly, right? Phytate can prevent the body from absorbing essential nutrients like zinc, iron, calcium, magnesium, and amino acids. However, there is an enzyme that counteracts phytate. That enzyme is called phytase, and it is the hero of this story. Extensive international research has been conducted on the benefits phytase can have in assisting with micronutrient absorption and improving nutritional status. However, Goodphyte is the first to commercialize a pure phytase product and bring it to market. We're also the first to explore the role that phytase has in immune health and autoimmune health. So before we go into hockey stick projections, which we have, and market potential, which we also have, I want to tell you about a few of the people whose lives have changed because of Goodphyte. Shortly after bringing Goodphyte to market, something unexpected happened. We started hearing from people with autoimmune disease, specifically irritable bowel disease, or IBD, and type 1 diabetes. Like Blair, who had been suffering from Crohn's disease for 12 years, was thin, exhausted, emaciated, and flaring regularly, despite being on high doses of immunosuppressants. Within a few months of starting Goodphyte, his flares had completely stopped. He had gained 12 pounds, his energy had returned, and he was able to significantly reduce the amount of immunosuppressant Remicade that he was taking. Cheryl's long-term struggle with colitis was similar and changed within weeks of starting Goodphyte. She just had her first ulcer-free scan a couple weeks ago, and that's after just 1 year on Goodphyte. Her energy has returned, and she hasn't flared since she started taking Goodphyte. On the first day Tim took Goodphyte, he was able to reduce his insulin use by 85%, and that has continued. He is one of several other diabetics that we've heard from with similar results. In diabetes in particular, Goodphyte works to lower blood sugar within a few hours. There are 10 million Blair and Cheryls globally who suffer from poorly managed IBD, and the situation is similar for the 8 million type 1 diabetics globally, and we think we can help. The current treatment options are expensive, often ineffective, and come with significant negative side effects. Many IBD sufferers don't respond to treatment or become non-responders after a time or end up in surgery or with an ostomy bag. Our provisional, non-provisional, and PCT patents have all been filed to ensure robust global IP. We've been in market since 2020 with established supply and distribution. With only limited advertising, our margins are already quite healthy with a relatively low cost to acquire a customer. With further investment in targeted marketing and clinical trials to support claims, we expect to achieve a positive ARR of $1.36 million by the end of 2024. We are currently raising $1 million to further validate the science, fund trials in support of product claims, and scale up, and this round is almost half full. We have a strong team in place, including experts and key opinion leaders in diabetes and IBD. Please join us in the good fight.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think if we're fast, we have time for one question. Can you tell me about your clinical trials? What are your plans in the next 3 years?
Sure. So we're going to do clinical trials in irritable bowel disease in humans, and then in type 1 diabetes. And we've also got 4 mouse trials lined up this year with the U of C.
Okay, so we actually have more time then. That was very fast. So 3 mouse trials at the U of C, that's small animal.
4 mouse trials this
Four
year.
mouse
We've
trials?
already completed 1 mouse trial.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then large animal after that?
No, then we'll go straight to humans.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, last one for me tonight, folks. So OraQ AI with Amrish, thank you for phonetically spelling out both. Take the stage, buddy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Amrish Khanna, and I'm the founder and CEO of OraQ AI. I'm a professional tooth enthusiast, also known as a dentist, and I'm on a mission to redefine success for dentists by empowering ethical practice growth over 2.5 times, all while prioritizing patient care. Let me tell you about the future that I've built with OraQ. You go to your dentist for a routine checkup, you lay down in the chair, and your dentist looks up at the screen in front of them and says, okay, Q, let's begin the exam. And Q guides that dentist through an AI-driven precision exam that you can know and trust in the same level of precision and thoroughness, regardless of whether you see a new graduate or a seasoned owner. You just experience a new level of trust and a new level of care. In my 15 years of experience, I've learned that filling chairs alone is not enough for success. Dentist time is worth different amounts of money based on their expertise and interests. This inconsistency is resulting in $1 million lost treatment opportunity annually for a dental practice and causing negative patient outcomes because patients are receiving conflicting advice. One dentist tells you need a crown and the other one doesn't even bring it up. We need a new solution and a better way to grow and scale our business. I learned this lesson the hard way when I lost my first practice to the flood in 2013 here in Calgary. After rebuilding, I set out on a journey to drive accelerated revenue growth by doing what's best for the patient, optimal care, and that saves them money long term. I built a system that increases case acceptance and guides a dentist in real time to ensure that nothing is overlooked. The future of AI-driven precision care is here, and OraQ is leading the way. So back to that dentist chair. The dentist finishes their exam. The OraQ actually flags that dentist on areas of concern, and you sit up and you look at your OraQ wellness profile, and you see some areas that are green, yellow, and red, and you actually for the first time know why your dentist is actually recommending what they're recommending to you. And you can even go home and pull this up on your phone and share it with your partner. We have a massive global market opportunity of $9.6 billion, and we're focusing on the 10% of the North American market in the next 6 years for an ARR of $117 million with our monthly SaaS subscription solution that's charging a dental practice $500 a month and promising a greater than 10 times ROI to the dentist. While AI systems already exist in dental x-ray solutions, the comprehensive approach for OraQ brings far more value to the clinical exam than anything that exists today. OraQ's beta launch in the fall yielded over a 2.5 times increase in dollars uncovered from OraQ exams compared to pre-OraQ exams. And it's emphasizing personalized basic care. OraQ achieved a 70% acceptance rate as well too, which is really helping with the challenge of getting the patients to say yes for what's best for their oral health. OraQ has achieved significant traction to date, including an oversubscribed pre-seed round, clinical and technology validation, participation in renowned accelerator programs, and regulatory approvals with both Health Canada and the FDA. We're taking our solution to market this month here to get to 100 users by the end of the year, leveraging founder-led sales, our network of our director of BD and sales in Atlanta, and our extensive advisory boards network as well too. We have a great team that's helping us bring this vision to reality, And we've opened up a $2 million seed round recently that's helping us get to really revolutionize the way that we can deliver care in dentistry. And, you know, I'd hope you join me in shaping the future of AI-driven precision care, and let's work together to create a better world for practices and patients alike.
Well done. Well done, Amrish. Okay, Amrish, tell me, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Is your software just trying to make dentists more money by prescribing treatments that patients don't need?
Exactly, and I'm really glad you asked that question, because that is the question on everybody's minds, right? And the thing is, like, our solution is grounded in prevention and early intervention, and that's the key, because the issue today is, what is the cost of waiting or not knowing? So today, you can't even make a decision as a patient, and we need to give the transparency back to the patient so they can make an informed decision. A patient with a low risk, maybe the cost to wait is very little, but a patient with a high risk, that cost could be 5 times the cost of treatment today. So that's what our solution is grounded in, doing what's best for the patient and grow the practice the right way.
Okay, and if we can be really quick, what's the value prop to dentists? Do they pay for software like this?
Yes, absolutely. So on my competitive analysis slide, we're used to paying for third-party solutions that tie into our practice today and into our existing EMRs and integrate with them. So we have solutions that are helping us from the administrative side. We have X-ray solutions, as I mentioned. And so dentists are used to spending, monthly subscription solutions on things. So it's not new.
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you.
All right. We are going to introduce our final co-host and question and answer for the evening. So first, I would like to welcome Mina from Platform Calgary. Mina, welcome down. And then in terms of the individual doing question and answer, we'll give a little prompts. TNT investor, founder of Pure Guidance, and apparently owns more shoes than Beyonce. Any guesses? Jade? It's Jade. All right, over to you, Mina. Oh yeah, one more housekeeping. Neil told me to say this, and I totally forgot. Your QR codes. See a lot of people filling them out. If you can just press the submit button, that would be great, and you could win a lightsaber. Everyone wants a lightsaber. So okay, over to you, Mina.
Wonderful, thanks so much. It's been an amazing evening. Just wait for the quiet. So my name is Mina Demian. I am one of the startup advisors here at Platform Calgary. And just in case you don't know, Platform Calgary helps support tech founders, connecting them to mentors, connecting them to pre-accelerators, incubators, global accelerators as well, talent development, investors, and people like Startup TNT, an incredible organization to work with, very community-minded, and also very helpful for early-stage founders. I have been actually extremely fortunate to be here since the beginning of Startup TNT, and I've seen some incredible, brilliant doctors, nurses, engineers come up with incredible things, but not a single cure for baldness. That was my joke for the evening. Okay, so after that, the first person up is Alicia from Simpl.AR.
Hi everyone, I am Alicia with Simpl.AR. We all know how important live events are to our well-being and the economy because we felt their loss so acutely during the pandemic. When we gather, there's a huge number of event professionals that come together behind the scene to make the magic happen. And generally speaking, these people fall into one of two categories, the highly technical and the highly creative. The problem is there's not one universally used planning tool. So the process is fragmented and siloed. The current CAD software was not made for our industry and requires a high degree of expertise. The other options, which the majority of people use, lack visualization and even accuracy. Neither of these options foster collaboration. So the process is very manual with a lot of back and forth, and that causes problems and delays that result in money left on the table, wasted resources, and the chance that your event might not rebook again the following year. So picture this. You're in charge of producing a major convention, like Collision Conference. You step into an empty exhibit hall, you put on your AR glasses, or you hold up your phone, and you begin building your vision. You pull in a main stage, place the seating, add the AV components, and of course, add a bar or two. And this is happening with your stakeholders together in a collaborative effort. With the incorporation of AI, our software will provide predictive flow elements that will ensure the event runs smoothly and that stakeholders can create and buy into the vision in real time. So our customers will generate more revenue faster using fewer resources. We have beta testers ready to implement and assist with development. The event tech industry is global and massive. It's currently valued at $7 billion and is set to double by 2026. In the AR sector, the largest segment is AR software, and that's valued at $11 billion. Investment in live events and production is soaring, and our industry is not interested in going back to the 2019 pre-pandemic playbook. What's more is our phones and 5G networks mean that AR is actually very easy to use, adopt, and deploy. Wearables will soon be at mass market stage, making augmented reality even more commonplace. We're raising a minimum of $250,000 in pre-seed investment. This will mostly go towards R&D, but will of course also support marketing, business development, and operational support. This team of mine is comprised of award-winning event professionals with 50 years of combined experience in live events and mobile technology. We're well regarded in our industry, and our CEO has represented Canada on the international stage. Our industry has our back. They're ready to help us create our vision, and we have the experience, expertise, and passion to execute. Now you have the opportunity to help us revolutionize live events. Thank you for considering our pitch.
Thank you, Alicia. Great presentation. Great presentation. I'm never prepared, but you just said something here at the end. The industry has your back. What do you mean by that?
When we validated this idea, we spent hours and hours and hours talking to our potential customers, and they've confirmed with us that this would not only help them, but is necessary to move our industry forward, and I would like to implement as soon as possible.
Nice. And I always have a different last question. We've got a couple hundred people here. Thank everybody for coming. We've got a couple thousand online watching. I always want to know, you mentioned an ask. If you had an ask of everybody in here and everybody online, what would that be? To help you?
Just reach out. Of course, fundraising is super important, but we are open to mentorship. We're building out our advisory board. All of the things that everybody needs, we need those too.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alicia.
All right. Next person up could also use a baldness cure, I'm not going to lie, right? All right. I'm not sure if I can say all this. TouchPoint from Dan. Go for it.
Hello, my name is Dan Lindsay, and I'm the founder and CEO of TouchPoint by Surety, a cleaner, smarter, safer way to manage touchpoint cleaning. I spent nearly 2 decades of my career in the cleaning industry. During that time, we deployed an unprecedented amount of people to clean touchpoints in facilities. The number one question we got was, how do we know our touchpoints are being cleaned? We had no data to back our efforts. Let me explain the risk and why customers care. I want you to consider the dirt and germs that you can't see on all the common objects and surfaces you touched when entering platform this evening. Surfaces like door handles, elevator buttons, or railings. Now, I'm not going to do the show of hands exercise, but I'm going to assume, how many of you washed your hands before you started mingling? I'm going to assume many of you didn't. And knowing that 1 in 3 people can be affected, there's probably 30, maybe 40 people at risk in this room. There are solutions out there to help you clean what you can't see and combat this problem. The current solutions are outsourced, specialized, with infrequent data, and just not acceptable by today's standards. TouchPoint by Surety is self-managed, scalable, mobile technology with 10 times more data at 25% less cost. And we're improving outdated processes and industry standards at the same time. We make our money by putting an automated solution literally in the hands of site management teams. We're keeping our pricing model simple by charging a monthly subscription fee of $500 per site so our customers can have unlimited access with no added fees. Our solution has a home at sites where they have a duty of care to protect the vulnerable population. We put this into 3 buckets. The long-term care sector, the elderly, the sick, and the young. So when we consider that, we're looking at a multi-sector billion-dollar addressable market with the long-term care sector being our immediate fit. We've experienced some early traction since our launch in July of 2022 with pilots in Alberta, BC, and Ontario. We've signed up our first paying customer in December of 2022, and we've been showcased for innovation at Canada's largest long-term care conference, validating a growing demand for our solution. We're looking for a pre-seed raise of $500K to kick things into high gear. Our primary use of funds is to acquire the talent we need to scale, and so we use some early customer feedback to upgrade and de-risk our technology. With this raise, we'll have the resources we need to begin our journey to hit our milestone of 3 million ARR in 3 years with 450 sites subscribed. So please join us as we disrupt in a cleaner, smarter, safer way for sites to manage their risks and touchpoint cleaning outcomes. Thank you.
Nice job, Dan. Great job. I guess I'm a movie buff, so I want to learn a little bit more about how your product works. So when Will Ferrell in Elf lights up that elevator like a Christmas tree, how are you going to clean, what's the process?
So the process is we have an ability now to capture the before and after side of it. Now we also have an ability to put the analytics and data and reporting of what's actually being done, which is just not there today. And this is something that's literally put in the hands of the sites to manage.
And is it very simple to manage? Is it from top down, or do you work with the actual the cleaning people first? Like who are you going to call on first?
Well, this early in the stage, we'll work with anybody. If they're going to sign up, we'll do whatever it takes.
And I guess the same last question for Alicia, of whoever's in here. Like, if you have one ask for how they can help, or anybody online, obviously reach out to you. But what would your ask be?
If you know anyone or have any connections in the long-term care facility, that's our immediate market. This is a strong solution for them and is going to change the way they manage their risks.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so next up, I'm very excited to introduce Simon from moovez.
moovez.
moovez. It says moves on.
Everyone gets it wrong, so it's fine. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Simon Bullard, and I'm the founder and CEO of moovez. moovez is changing the way people move their stuff. Between my CTO, Hassan, and I, we have over 15 years experience in the tech-enabled logistics space. moovez is our current mission, and we have built an on-demand moving and delivery platform that helps people move big and bulky stuff from A to B. Moving sucks in Canada, but it doesn't have to. I lived in Beijing, China for 8.5 years, and I moved an obnoxious 15 times. That's almost twice per year. Not once, however, did I have to hire professional movers, rent a truck, or rely on friends and family and do it myself. In China, there was a service where someone would show up to your apartment, move your stuff for you, pretty much as easy as it is to order a skip the dishes meal here in Canada. That company is also valued at over $10 billion. In moving back to Canada, I was shocked that a service like this didn't already exist here, so in 2021, I built it. So what have we built? We've built a managed marketplace where consumers and small businesses can book moves and deliveries on demand provided by vetted and verified movers. One of our early users said it best when she said, it's like Uber for moving. So on to the most important part. How do we make our money? We are a classic two-sided marketplace and we sit in the middle. We use a commission-based model where our take rate is 20% and our current average order value is $290. That's a weighted average of our 3 different use cases, which are consumer delivery, consumer moves, and business delivery. On the supply side of our platform, we have 2 different types of operators. We have your independent contractors, or as we like to refer to them as Bob with a cargo van, and independent moving companies that like to use us to fill in some of the gaps in their schedule. In terms of traction, we launched our MVP in January of 2021. Since then, we've completed over 1,800 jobs, and we've done over $300,000 in GMV. We are targeting 3 massive market segments with plenty of opportunity to win across all 3 of them and build $100 million businesses across all 3 of them. Our goal is to quickly become the Made in Canada solution for Canadians before we start thinking about international expansion. Our shorter term goal is over the next 15 months, we want to launch version 2 of our platform, grow Calgary by 5x, validate our playbook for new market expansion, and expand in 2 new markets over the next 12 months. To do that, we are here raising a $750,000 pre-seed round. And I will leave you with one last question. Who wants to join the movement?
Oh, I was going to wear my Move Easy t-shirt, but I figured it might be a little biased, right?
Come on.
I know. Yeah. So I want to, you're a second time participant in this. You made the top 5 last time. So I want to know last time you said that you weren't ready for an investment. So what has changed in the last year and changed for you?
Well, you really pushed me because it was soon after I launched, you pushed me, we connected that's sort of right when I got to Calgary and you pushed me to join the TNT Summit and it was a great learning experience, but I found I got to the end and I was pitching up on stage and I sort of felt like, okay, I'm asking for this money, but what am I going to do with it? And, since then we've had a lot more at bats. We've really nailed down our customers. We've nailed down our use cases. And so we're much more confident with taking on investment and knowing what to do with it.
No, and that's very, you admitted that in all the DD meetings, which was very good. A lot of people don't know, or they get an investment and they waste their money. So I guess the last question here, same as before. If you had one ask the people here, the thousands or millions of people listening online, what would that be?
Wow. Well, definitely because we're building a double-sided marketplace, right? So people with marketplace experience, I've been connecting with a couple founders who have built marketplaces, and so they've been extremely helpful to talk to. We're looking for investment, so investors are great. And yeah, anyone that's kind of logistics experience would be amazing too. So I'll talk to anyone.
Well, how about if anybody knows that if anybody's going to move, you can actually call Simon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can do that too. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Simon.
Amazing. Move ease, not moves. Move easy. See, I still not even getting it right. So many innovative ways to actually merge the words. But this time I know I'm going to get this right because you just explained it to me. So next up is Azra with Syzl.
Oops. All right, everybody. Almost done, I promise. We got 2 left. So I want to start by introducing you to Gael. Gael is a user of ours. She's a mother of 4 who moved to Canada from Ethiopia, and she is a gig economy worker. And she's not a gig economy worker in the way that you think she might be. She doesn't drive for Uber, she's not on TaskRabbit, but she is part of the millions of people who are joining the gig economy for food by selling online. This is the largest industry on planet Earth. And yet,
This is not a work from home kind of business. You have to have commercial equipment. You need to be able to scale. You need health and safety. And so Gael and millions like her have hit a wall. So hold that thought. We're going to the King Eddie after this, right? Thank you. Well, 3 people, I guess, are going to the King Eddie after this. And the King Eddie is closed Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And that's an empty kitchen space 3 days a week. So enter Syzl. What we do is that we bring millions of unutilized or empty kitchen spaces online so that Gael and her peers can enter the gig economy and make use of existing assets. And it's not just the gig economy that takes advantage of this. Enterprise customers, including some of our amazing customers up there, they're also looking for flexibility in space so they don't have to have that super expensive capital upfront investment. And there's never been a better time to do this. There's Shopify, Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, Instagram. You can get your product to market so quickly, but infrastructure, equipment, space hasn't caught up, and that's what we're doing. We're doing this in 3 distinct ways to be different from the rest of the market. The first is that we have the first of its kind in Canada gig economy chef insurance to make sure everyone can get access. The second is that we use a machine learning model for preference matching to make sure people get the equipment they need. And we have a proprietary visual AI model because we are feeding this model with all of the data that we are collecting from all of the kitchens and sites on the platform. Since we launched, we've had, this is actually a little bit old, but 1,900 hours of bookings. We've had close to 1,000 users and $250,000 in ARR, and we are just getting started. We make money when our users do, and that's incredibly important because it builds trust. And make no mistake, the food industry is the largest industry on planet Earth, and we are taking on a portion of this from underutilized kitchen spaces and equipment. We're the team to do it. We have 30 years of technology, grit, and hustle at some of the top companies in the world, and advisors from Shopify, Top Chef, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Quell. In Syzl, we truly believe that the best food is sitting in a recipe card in someone's basement. The next sriracha, the next Coca-Cola, and it's gonna be brought to market because it's gonna be made in a Syzl kitchen. Thank you.
Great job, great job. I mean, this is an industry that's close to my heart. The only reason I go to the gym is so I can eat food.
Exactly, right?
If I ate better, I would look like Fred up here, like honestly. So when you're out there, how are you acquiring the restaurants? And I mean, Albert already have, you got a guy up there, Mo Aladdin, I know where he is. He just sold all his last restaurants, so you'll connect with him later. But how are you finding the restaurants out there?
For sure. So we have an outbound sales model because we have as a team, and that was just our executive team, that's using a really tried and true outbound sales model. But imagine going to a kitchen and saying, hey, do you want to make extra money when you're closed? And we have insurance, and it's going to be clean, and you're going to walk out with an additional $1,000. Try saying no to that.
Especially those early morning bakers, like they can come in there, use a kitchen. So
That's exactly
are there any specific, like a bakery, is there any industries that are more specific that you're looking at?
So the really nice part about Syzl is that anyone really from that tiny home caterer that I talked about, all the way up to really big global brands, they all need some kind of flexible space because nobody wants to invest in equipment. This is a pre- and post-COVID problem. It's not any different.
And again, if you had one request for people out there that are watching and here, what would that be?
So 2 things. First, everybody knows someone who makes amazing food. Now you can do it. Now you can sell it. So please let them know about us. And the second thing is that we're raising. So please come and chat with me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right. We've got the last one of the evening, and actually very, very, very proud to actually introduce this next person. I can tell you that this next person that's about to come on stage has probably had the longest, most arduous journey to get here. If you want to actually get to know Farzan, it's an incredible story for him to actually be here on stage today. Farzan is actually one of our startup visa companies that came all the way through. We're talking about COVID and then finally landed, and he's starting a business, and he's just an outstanding human being that I'm very, very happy to introduce next, Farzan with Rambody.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Okay. Oh, it's here. When people think about the personal trainers, they often picture a super buff guy. But in reality, they are business owners. My name is Farzan, but you can call me Tarzan. And I am founder and CEO of Rambody. Let me share a story. Sam, a personal trainer, faces challenges like time management and location dependency. And he can train a limited number of clients daily. And also his clients struggle with Sam's location, his high cost, and also the risk of injuries for his paper workout plans. Rambody provided him tools to create customized workout and nutrition plan with 1,500 animated exercises and the ability to add his own. Rambody empowers him to access users in different languages and also save 90% of his time. Now, he manages about 1,000 monthly clients all around the world and in different languages. And this is a real story of our users, of one of our users. Rambody's mobile and web application provide tools that save trainers time and help them to make more money, and also saving money for trainees. The most challenges in fitness industry is creating motivation. We are developing Tinder for a workout buddy to connect our users with like-minded individuals. We currently have 200 monthly active trainers, and these trainers generated $1 million with 7,000 sold plans. And we generated $30,000 revenue in the past 6 months. Our aim is to have 100,000 active trainers and more than $200 million annual revenue by 2028. We differentiate ourselves from competitors with a multilingual platform that connects affordable trainers with trainees worldwide. And we reduce trainers' plans price cost by 70% and enable trainers to reach users globally. Our team is committed to changing personal training industry and help personal trainers with AI tools to create better workout plans. If you are interested to have free workout plan for home or office, please scan this barcode, and we are happy to provide one for you. Thank you.
Great job, Farzan. Great job. Everybody goes to a gym. There's lots of trainers out there. How are you going to reach all these trainers?
Trainers can use our platform and are using our platform as a hybrid for their clients, even in gym. For clients abroad or far, and also clients in gym, they provide their plans on our platform, and they can use it.
Excellent. And the same last question for all the people here and the people watching online. If you had one ask, what would that be of people?
I ask everyone that don't looking for easy and quick way to get fit. Please go to gym and do exercises.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Farzan. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. And we're going to hand it back to Danielle and Neil, our wonderful hosts. Give them a round of applause for the great job.
All right, did anyone look at Jade's shoes? They were colorful. Okay, well, Neil, that's it. 450 slices of pizza, 256 beers, 19 pitches, and 1 evening. What left do we have to say to our guests?
Well, I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This is really important for these founders to get this community support. There's so many amazing people here tonight, so I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause to start. I'm also going to want us to give another round of applause for all the amazing entrepreneurs who hit the stage here tonight, because they deserve a huge one. And then along those thank you lines, I also want to thank a bunch of people there in the background. Let's thank our inland AV team at the back that have made this go smoothly technically. We have our ops team in Edmonton, Jonah and Dom, who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to make this happen. We have Kathleen, who's probably hiding at this point of the night because she doesn't like the attention, but Kathleen Kellner, she's wearing a Startup TNT t-shirt. Make sure that you let her know that she did an amazing job planning this event. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Yes, let's give her a hand. And then before I do a couple quick closing comments, I do want to say that thank you to those that submitted feedback tonight. For those of you that are still working, we can see there's a bunch of you in your sheets. Make sure you hit the submit button. But the random draw for the Startup TNT Lightsaber in honor of May the 4th is going to Samantha Moore with Flying Start Advocates. I see you up there, Samantha. I'll get it to you after. All right, we're just about ready to socialize. So people often ask us, like, why we do this and what are we trying to accomplish? Well, this is it, honestly. We want to be able to be in a room with a bunch of founders that recognize they can build their companies here. They can do it in Calgary. Their kids can go to the same school as our kids. They can pay their mortgages here. They can build a business. They can develop a community. They can diversify our economy. And there's so many different aspects to what they do that is really impactful for this community of Calgary and the Prairies and beyond. So at the finale night, we're going to invest some money into one of these companies. I want to ask you all to come join us again on the 15th. It's going to be a ton of fun. I enjoy them regardless, but yeah, make sure you show up on the 15th. If you can get engaged with these founders, engage with the community, you don't need money to do it. You just need to have a good attitude. You need to be supportive, have some fun, learn some stuff. It's a really special place to be. So I'd encourage anybody that's curious to come talk to me, talk to the many amazing people I know in the audience, and get involved in our community, and let's build some more cool stuff here. Yeah, that's it. Have fun, make friends, build companies. Thank you all for coming. Honestly, just are you off? Pretty awesome.
Conlis Global, and I did contact. I think you're from
Yes. I'm from Movement 51, but yes, that's part of the 51.
Yeah. I actually was wondering if there is any way for me as a